Hello guys, we're going to start here in just a minute. Just going to share the link here. Here we go. Alright. Okay. Got some UPW actions going to be going on here. Oh. It's going to be... I'm gonna also talk about night one of WrestleMania here. So, spoilers for those at certain points for those who haven't watched it yet. Although I feel like anyone who's going to be watching tonight's going to have an idea of things. Now, before I forget, I did mention it sometime last season, but I don't know if I mentioned it this season yet, and I apologize if it affected anyone. Hi, Eli. But from now on, 3-man and 4-man tag matches will have a default time limit of 45 minutes and a time limit of 60 minutes if it's a title match of 3 or 4. I'm going to make it 3 or 4 because I feel like that 30 minutes might barely be enough for most 6-man tag matches, but I don't think it'd be enough for 4-man. It could, but I feel like when it gets to 3 or 4, like, if we're gonna involve titles and stuff with it, I feel like that appropriate amount of time should be needed to actually have wins. So that's how it's gonna be for those going forward, 3 and 4. In that respect. Now, to kick things off, we got some... And I should add that in the guidebook. Also, I want to try to experiment and see if we can get away with having multi-man matches, like... multi-man matches be a more reasonable time limit. Because I want to try experimenting with a little bit of that, because I want to see if it's possible to maybe allow for multi-man matches, like triple threat fatal 4-way matches, to be used on a more routine basis if desired. Because I want to see if we put like normal time limits on them, if they would yield different results or not. So I'm going to try to experiment with that and see if anything changes there. But yes, in these first 2 matches here are going to determine the contenders for the first ever UPW faction title. It's an 8-man tag championship. Opening match is going to have Kai and Tai go against the main event Mafia. start with them here. Now, Kai and Tai. There it is. Alright, this should be very interesting. Let's see how this goes here. But yeah, what did you guys think of night 1 of WrestleMania yesterday? I just finished watching it today. I started watching it last night when the repeat came on. So because I thought the replay would be available at midnight because I knew the show would be done at 11, but the press conference was freaking 2 hours long, so I had to wait till 1 to make a dent in it.
In 1986, the Kingdom of East.
Oh yeah. Being laid on the ground, yeah. No, he won't leave after this WrestleMania, I don't think. Because I keep in mind that not only he is a legit member of the board when they restructured things, but you know, due to the actor strike, he had a lot of time on his hands, so he made plans with WWE to do some stuff, and this is one of those things. But no, he's not gonna ever leave. He is just gonna be he's always gonna be a part-timer there. It's just right now it's just kind of a lightning in a haystack with what's going on with him. I will say I was a little surprised. Like, I thought he looked decent enough. I was a little surprised of how little of his moves he did. Like, he did 3 moves. He did the rock bottom, the people's elbow. He also did his famous shit shooter. Oh, he better fucking not. No, he needs to lose. Like, bar none.
This is evil.
Fight!
Yeah, exactly. Like, let's face it, everyone kind of knew like Rock and Reigns were gonna win. That was no secret. I will say, what did you guys think about Sami Zayn beating Gunther? Now, I completely lost track because when I was going on, I'm like, man, I wonder why Chad Gable isn't in this position. Because I completely forgot about it, because for a bit, he was like rocking with Gunther for a bit. Like, I thought I pegged him as the guy to unseat him at some point, but I completely forgot they did, I completely forgot that they did a gauntlet to determine a shot winner, and Sami beat Gable for it. So I think what they're doing, they're doing long-term planning for Gable to make him a heel and have him feud with Sami for it, which I guess is okay. I think so too. I think, because let's all be honest here. No, despite all that they give Sami, everyone knew that he should have won Elimination Chamber. I'm sorry. I don't care how much it wrecks the tradition and the plans and stuff. The moment was right then and there for it. Like, if you get rid of all the salesman sales and logic of everything, that moment was there, but they didn't pull the trigger on it, and I'm okay with that because I get it. And to be honest, in all honesty, I feel like him feuding with Jey Uso over the tag titles and whatnot, I feel like that makes more sense than him feuding with Roman, because even though he had personal stuff against Roman, his real personal shit was against Jay. Because they always bounced back and forth since day one. So I thought I think that could be a future rivalry at some point on a singles level. Like, to be honest, I think a big way to make it work is if Jay feuds with Sammy for the IC title. I think that'd be a great way to get Jay set up more as a singles guy. But you had Gable there. So I don't know. You already got like 3 guys to kind of help like get the IC title race kind of tight, like leveled up once Gunther goes to the main event. Because Gunther needed to lose that title. Like he's beyond ready for the main event scene. So, I mean, I will admit, I do wish it was somebody more rookie-ish to beat him. I would have preferred it, but I think with all that said and done, I think Sammy's a good choice, all things considering. Yeah, I just think, I don't know why they didn't have Gable beat him for it at WrestleMania. I think it was just a timing thing. I think because they had like a series of matches this fall or whatever that were really good, but Gunther won them all. And I just think that, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't pull the trigger on him yet for that. I think to be honest, I think the biggest reason why is in kayfabe, he had like 2 or 3 shots for the title and he didn't win. And 2, I mean, he kinda is above it a little bit, but the way I see it is that I will say this, mid-card titles are in a much better place now than they were before, like, before the pandemic and the bloodline sweeping literally every title ever. So I think they're in a better place now. So I think, I will say this, probably my personal favorite match for the night was the 6-pack challenge. Yeah, and I think the biggest thing there to keep in mind with all that is the fact that, like, him and Gunther could feud again eventually. I mean, it just because they had a few matches, like, for that title doesn't mean that they can't have more matches again in the future, which is very likely. Because they know they have good chemistry there. Everyone is aware of that backstage. Like, there's no denying it. I just think that they wanted to approach him winning his first singles title a different way than just simply beating Gunther. And in all honesty, and that's the thing too, like, as much as people cheered for him going against Gunther as a babyface, I think lots of people would say that he's probably a better heel. Because I think they're going to try to go for a Kurt Angle type of way with him. And Kurt Angle was always heelish, kind of. So I think they're kind of going to try to go for that. And I think they want him winning the title as a heel, as opposed to a babyface. I think that's the biggest reason for it, is that they want him winning the title a certain way, and they just weren't ready yet to pull the trigger. But, you know, on the bright side, though, at least we know that if him and Gunther ever face off for something, it's going to be good. Yeah. But yeah, the 6-pack challenge tag ladder match is probably one of my favorites of the night, though. I just love seeing... Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I don't think Sammy needs a title at this, I think at this point, after this IC title run of his, I think if he's gonna win another title again, it needs to be like WWE or World title. But I don't know if he even needs that, though. But yeah, like, that 6-man tag match, that match to me confirms to me that the tag divisions in WWE is gonna be good. Like, I think with the fact that those 6 teams had to be another 6 tag teams to get there, so there's 12 teams. right there. And I'm happy that, because I'm happy that the Judgment Day didn't retain those 2 titles, or one of them. I'm happy they divided the titles, because during that match, it felt like they were flirting with them keeping the titles, like, combined, and I would have hated that so much. Like, why, like, that would have been so stupid. Like, why do something like that only to just keep them united again if you had no ambition of combining the belts together? Like, so what I'm thinking is they're gonna do with those 2 belts like they did with the World and WWE titles, and they're gonna change them over to the World Tag and WWE Tag titles. Yeah, it was, I didn't follow that process of them booking that super well, because I thought all the belts would be under one thing. I didn't realize that they were going to have the belts separate like that. And that made me so happy, because I thought they were still keeping them united. But it looks like they're ready to pull the trigger on getting back to 2 tag divisions again, and I think they're ready. I think they got I think they've done a great job developing tag teams and stables, and I think they got more than enough to justify having 2 titles, as long as they keep tag teams churning in and don't keep the same shit nonstop. Yeah, they flirted with one team getting both. But I'm so happy they did it. They don't need to keep them united again. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. They need to get back to tags, because if they're gonna justify having all those guys and all the shows and stuff, they need active tag divisions. They just do. And here's the other thing too. I think they picked the right guys to get them. Like, let me think. So Judgment Day was one of them. They didn't retain them. That's good. I think.
1, 2.
I think it wouldn't have killed me if the New Day got one of them, but I'm glad they didn't. They don't need them, of course. They got plenty of reigns under their belt. I'm kind of a little surprised that Waller and Theory got the SmackDown ones. I didn't really have them pegged to win one of them, but I'm fine with it. They've been kind of tagged together long enough. Maybe they could have been a little bit longer, but they've been together long enough, and they really should have at least one of those titles be run by a heel team. They can't have both titles in babyface team. So that makes sense, because the only other heel tag team in that thing was the Judgment Day, because the other 4 teams were definitely babyface teams. Yeah. I will say this. I will say this. They look good as a tag team. I've kind of been a little critical on Theory a little bit in some Discord channels, but I think him pairing against Waller is very smart. And I think he kind of masks the somewhat lack of personality Theory could bring at times. So I think it was smart giving them one of them. Now, in the other 3 teams, the New Catch Republic, they're still pretty new. I wouldn't mind if they won one of them, but I kind of get why they didn't give them one yet. They're still kind of new. DIY, I was a little surprised that they didn't give them, but DIY I thought DIY would get one of them, in all honesty. But to be honest, but here's the other thing too. I think DIY is also a very young, fresh tag team. I mean, they had a run in NXT. So they probably didn't give them those belts right away because they did have a big run in NXT, but I wouldn't be surprised if they win one of those belts very soon. Yeah. Oh, the Kingsland Cloverleaf. Let me think, what else? Did I already? But Awesome Truth, I was so happy to see R-Truth win those titles.
Yeah!
That was a big moment there, for sure. Because to be honest, even though they're kind of an older team, they kind of had a run. Although this one's already definitely better than their first run. I was happy to see R-Truth win it. I think it was a good choice. Neither one of these teams I picture holding on the tag belts for eons, but I think they're good jumping off teams for the new tag divisions. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely can see, like, DIY could have, New Catch Republic could have if they've been around longer, but they're still new, so I'm fine with them not getting it yet. Really, when it comes down to it, it was either DIY or Awesome Truth to get one of them, and I think they went with Awesome Truth mainly because R-Truth's just been on fire lately, and I think, Main Event Mafia win it. They will move on to the main event for those titles. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of happy they went with Awesome Truth as opposed to the DIY, because DIY is going to be around for a while and they got plenty of time to have moments, but this is kind of, I feel like this is R-Truth's kind of like victory lap as a wrestling career, and I think this is one part of that lap, and he deserved that moment. After all the good work he's put in with all the humorous shit over the years and all the fun moments he did, all the cleverness, that was well deserved. It's same thing with The Miz too. Like, he deserved that as well because he's been solid too. So I think they picked the right teams to win it. I mean, they had some flexibility. Like DIY and New Catch Republic could have easily won one of those belts, and I would have been fine with it too. But when you really think about it, when you look at all the layers, their two choices to win those two titles makes the most sense. But it was a great match. One of my favorites of the night, in all honesty. Oh yeah, definitely. Like old reliable. Alright, next match here, we got the Global Enforcers here. Going against the Bloodline. Alright, let's see how this one goes here. Winner will face Main Event Mafia in the main event. As for the rest of the card after this match, Miz and Morrison will fight the Acclaimed in some tag action. Then we got Jay White taking on Cody Rhodes, and then in the semi-main event we got Rikishi fighting John Cena, and then of course in the main event is the winner of this match going against Main Event Mafia for those new Faction tag titles. But yeah, I mean, that was a great tag match, and like that definitely one of my favorites of the night. Like there was really not a bad match. There are some matches that I think could have been on SmackDown or Raw and would have been fine. Like the tag match of Dominic and El Phantasmo, that one could have been on SmackDown or Raw, and that would have been fine. Like, but I will say this, like, I think out of all the title changes that night, I think Rhea being the only one to retain, I think was the right call. I don't think Becky needed to beat Rhea. And to be honest, Rhea's still over. Like, no one's tired of her having the title yet. There's still stuff there for her with that title. And she's still over as hell. So there's really no reason for her not to keep it. However, I will say, I think the Judgment Day losing those Undisputed tag titles, I think that will cause a little drama for that stable, though, at some point. Because that was a big trophy for them. And they look pretty bare without those tag titles there. So we'll have to see how. I'm thinking Damian Priest is gonna cash in opening match and gonna get that world title. That's what I'm thinking. Because yeah, he would have fit well.
Great.
But yeah. But like I said, DIY or New Catch Republic, they could have won one of those or both of those titles. They definitely could have, but I think for various reasons, I do think having Grayson Waller and Theory and Austin Truth, having them win those titles, I think was the right call, because I think there was just little reasons and thoughts that I think just made those choices a bit more better, just by a little bit. You could have picked New Catch or DIY for them, and it still would have been fine. But one, they needed a heel team to have one of those titles, and outside of the Judgment Day, Waller and Theory were the only other team. And you know, R-Truth and R-Truth was well earned his moment after all the good work he did. So I think between those two stark things, I think they made the right choices. But I wouldn't be surprised if DIY and New Catch Republic won those titles soon. Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, Judgment Day didn't need those titles anymore, and New Day's already, they don't need them either, so definitely the right calls, for sure. But like I said, I don't know what's going to be next here for the Judgment Day. Oh, yeah, R-Truth is great. Just, man, talk about a guy that found a way to get over without, like, through unconventional means. And it worked, and you know what? He's earned that. Him having a championship again was the right call. I'm very excited to see how Miz and R-Truth do their thing with the tag titles. I'm curious to see how they're gonna run with it. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with the Judgment Day, because pretty much everyone lost that night except for Rhea. So it's I think like I said, I'm predicting Damian's gonna cash in tomorrow. I think today. I think. Oh, Simone Spike.
1, 2.
What else is going on tomorrow? Today, I mean, I keep saying tomorrow, but it's okay. Today. Oh yeah, that was, oh man, that was just prime shit story from Vince right there. That was just, yeah.
Great.
Oh, going for a Boston Crab. Yeah, here's some predictions. So the one of the, what, let's see if it has. That was a bit ago. I don't quite remember that. So tonight's gonna be 6 matches. Last night was 7 matches. Yeah, they could have cut out the Rey Mysterio Santos Escobar tag match, and it would have been fine. But it is what it is. But for tonight, I think Seth will technically win the match tonight, but I think Damian Priest is gonna cash in and take that belt. Even if Drew wins, I don't think he's gonna. I think it'll still be cashed in. So either way with that one, the the 6-man action of the Slashing and the Profits against the Final Testament, that one could go either way. Both stables are kind of in a lower scrub category, which is a shame. I don't know if either one of them winning this match will really help them. I will say this, I think Lashley and the Street Profits need this win more than Final Testament, because I don't think Final Testament is going. They're a lot newer and they got more chances to really make a statement. But Lashley and the Street Profits, they've been around for a bit and they haven't accomplished a ton really, and I think they need that. So I see them probably getting the win. LA Knight and AJ Styles, Knight's gonna win it. Like he needs to keep the momentum going. Like, it is so bizarre for me he hasn't won a title yet. It's asinine that he hasn't won one yet. And I get everything's kind of tied up currently, but they gotta give him something. And I hope that after this match that he gets something at some point. Either the IC or the US title, or even a World or WWE title if they really are feeling generous. Oh, look at that! Got him on a roll-up. Global Enforcers gonna face the main event Mafia on the main event here. Now we got some traditional tag action. But yeah, LA Knight I think will get the win. I mean, if AJ wins, it won't be the end of the world, but I think LA Knight needs the win a lot more than AJ does. Let's see. That 3-way match with Paul, Orton, and Owens for the US title. That's a tough one because really, Logan. I don't think Logan should retain it. I don't think he needs to keep it anymore. In fact, in all honesty, I'd rather see him tag up with somebody and maybe get a tag title win for a spell. I would rather see that, because, yeah, I mean, and here's the thing, I think he's had a fine run with the US title, not bad by any stretch, but if he's gonna keep on carrying that title, he should wrestle a lot more if he's gonna retain. And I don't know if he will or not. Owens and Orton really don't need a US title reign. They really don't. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if Owens or Orton won it. Orton is kind of a big return kind of trophy kind of thing. Owens, he doesn't need it, but here's another way to look at it. I mean, if Sammy has it would be kind of a cool image to have Sammy have the IC and Owens to have the US title. So it could really go either way. I wouldn't mind if either one of them won it, I guess. But if whoever does win it, I don't think they're going to keep it for long, because I think there are other people that are a little bit more deserving of that title than those three. But we'll have to see. Let's see. Next match. Miz and Morrison going against the Acclaim here. The next matchup, Bayley and Io Sky for the WWE Women's title. Yeah, I think Bayley's gonna win it. I think with the story that they established and anything, I don't think it makes sense for Bayley to not win that match. Because here's the thing, what is Io Sky gonna do after this match with the title? Like, what is left for her to do? I don't think there really is a lot. Like, it makes sense to have Bayley win it. Now, will she keep it for long? I don't know. I don't think she needs... It makes sense for her to win the match, but I don't think it means that she keeps the title for long. That's my opinion, at least. So, we'll have to see on that one, but I think it makes sense for Bayley to win it. Although, I will say this, the impromptu, stable of Jade, Naomi, and Bianca, those three beating the other members of Damage Control, that might not be a good sign of Io losing, because I don't know if they want Damage Control to lose both matches, but you know what? They're the heels. Heels are meant to lose. That's just the way it really should be, in all honesty. I mean, look at WWE back in that PG shit era when they had the heels win 90% of the time. When they finally allowed a face to win, it was too late and no one gave a fuck, and they still looked pathetic, all things considering, because they made them lose all the time. Alright. Got everything. Alright, let's see how this one goes. I've played it. I reviewed it on the channel. It's not an awful game, but if you really want to play great wrestling GameCube games, that's technically probably on the low end of the totem pole, but it's not a bad low end.
The acclaimed, top of the chain, so I bet you know the name.
There's some guys I have reorganized that I probably forgot to like do
everybody saying that they wanna be acclaimed. Nobody stopping the team. The acclaimed on the rise to the top.
But now the main event.
We the cream of the crop.
Long story short, Cody should win that match. Like Cody has to win. Like I don't know why they would have Roman keep the title. What would be the point of it? Because I didn't think they were going to do a good job justifying it again this time around compared to last year, and they somehow did. They got lucky. They're not going to get a third one. And you can't have Cody win 2 Royal Rumbles and lose both times. I don't care what the circumstances are. It made him look like a chump. So yeah, no, Cody has to win the main event. Like, if Cody doesn't win the main event, then it's gonna be bullshit. It just is. Like I don't get what. Because here's what I think is gonna happen. I think they're gonna do their thing. Something's gonna happen, and there's either Rock's gonna portray Reigns, or other wrestlers come out. Something's gonna happen that's gonna even things out. I think Rock's gonna portray Reigns, because I think they're gonna do a pseudo thing where they're gonna set up like one of the main events for WrestleMania 41 of Rock and Reigns. Because I know they want to do that, but it didn't work out for this one because no one wanted to see that, because it would have been complete BS. And to be honest, you could have Rock and Reigns face off at any WrestleMania, would have been fine. But having Cody win the title at WrestleMania 40, I mean, that's a once in a big thing. Like, you're not going to get that again. So that's the way I think it's going to happen. And I think any other result of Cody not getting the title would be complete bullshit. Now, a big ballsy thing they could do is they could have Cody win and do the ultimate Dusty finish and have Damian Priest cash in on Cody and get to steal that title. That would have been so ballsy. I don't think they're going to do it because they've always tied Priest to the world title. But you never know. I mean, you never know with that Money in the Bank thing in play. Yeah, it was. It's also one of the last games to have Scott Hall in it as a normal in-roster guy. Yeah, I think tonight's gonna be a great event. I can't see really all the matches look solid except for maybe the Lashley Karrion Kross tag fight ordeal. I don't know how well that's gonna. I don't know how good that one's gonna be, but everything else looks like fire. Oh my god, that'd be insanity though, wouldn't it? But you know what? That case needs to be cashed in. Like, he still has time. He could do it on another pay-per-view or another show, and it would have been fine. But what a great WrestleMania moment would it be for Damian Priest to cash in that thing and finally get a big title win after all that's happened. That would have been something. And to be honest, the Judgment Day kind of need a little bounce back because they lost a lot of stuff the last couple months, and they really need a big bounce back. Oh yeah, I was just thinking, would it have been cool if they kind of had everyone that Roman's beaten or the Bloodline screwed over or kind of just come down all at once and prevented like the Bloodline people from going in to help Roman. Little Starship Pain. That would have been a great moment there. It's something they should have done for the NWO storyline back in WCW, but they were too foolish to think ahead like that. I mean, it probably is. I mean, you'll have to, I believe so. I mean, you can definitely make his moveset in that game. Look-wise, possible, you'll have to test it out. Yeah.
10 minutes gone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you could totally do it. You could just go crazy with it. Ooh. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping to see some good shit tonight. You know what? I gotta look more into that game. Unfortunately, that game isn't the most. The one element I do love about that game is the sheer amount of titles you can get. I love that part of the game. Now, WrestleMania 19 is a better game, but it's a little polarizing because of the main mode. Ooh. No, they're in the GameCube era. They were way after No Mercy. Those two were they were before the Day of Reckoning games because it was the same company, but when they started, they did 18 and 19, and then after that, they just switched to the Day of Reckoning brand, and these had Day of Reckoning 1 and 2, and they ended after 2. I reviewed them all on the channel, although I haven't done a main mode in either one of them yet. Although I would like to though at some point on the channel. Well, you can also create another 16 if you have another memory card. So you can do 32. You just need 2 memory cards because the system on the GameCube is very sensitive when it comes to storage, so you kind of have to take an extra step with that. But the creation suites in those games, especially the Day of Reckoning games, is pretty solid, all things considering. They give you plenty to work with. Ooh, oh, no, that didn't. super kick there. No, 18 just has the standard kind of high score gauntlet-like thing. Like, but there is a mode where you can unlock a bunch of belts through different type of matches, so there is stuff to do, just nothing super, like, original. Well, LGC didn't book them to be on the sideline. Well, I thought they only had Sunny, though. Unless I missed stuff. I mean, 19 does have a story mode, it's just very unorthodox, and not everyone likes it, but I will say this, it has gained kind of a more positive following over the years, because it is kind of fresh and original. I think a lot, oh, here comes Sunny. I think a lot of people were just frustrated because the game was better than 18, they just wish they had a more orthodox mode. To be honest, like a mode like that, a story mode like that would be great in a game like a 2K game today if you had tagged that along with other main modes like GM and Universe. Yeah. You know, it's funny you bring that up, because I have thought about it, and I didn't mention in the poll on the Discord about projects to do, but another one I would like to do is do, like, a special, like, time travel back to, like, when the invasion was crashed, when the WCW and ECW guys were in WWF, and do things from a perspective as a wrestler as a part of, like, the new class of wrestlers coming up through development. And play as one of those guys and kind of go through the motions from there. I mean, it would have been in one of the 2K games, but I don't know if I want to go that far with it, because if I want to do something like that, I kind of want there to be a little bit of story action to come with it. And those 2K simulations are very like match to match, and I don't know if we will want to go through stuff like that. Ooh. It's been a great match, very competitive. Ooh. That's just Sandman with a different name. Like, you don't have to worry too much about Hardcore Hack. Like, making him. Ooh, this might be a tie.
More seconds.
Oh, can he do it?
10 more seconds.
No, got kicked out. If he did it on the other side, I think it would have been enough, but... Got a tie. You know what? In all honesty, like if he, I think. Oh, really? I was only 73. That's crazy. Man, this does happen sometimes. That usually isn't that low, but in all honesty, the only reason why I think it would be that low is maybe there was too many moves repeating. That's the thing. Like this game will. Yeah, that could be a thing, but this game will punish matches if the same moves get repeated too much. And I will say there was some repetition in a lot of moves, so that could have been a thing as well. Although in other matches, it's not a problem, so I don't know. It's a weird thing sometimes, but you know, it's a lot like real life. Sometimes in real life, long matches doesn't equal great matches either, so just one of those things. Alright, now we got some singles action. Cody Rhodes against Jay White coming up here. Last night's main event. That did feel a little long. I will say that. I kind of feel like the main event I don't think was bad. I think I would have given it like a 3.5 out of 5. I think the biggest issue with the match, one, I feel like everyone kind of knew who was going to win. It wasn't really that big of a mystery. And two, I will say this. I mean, I thought Rock would have done a bit more of his moves than he did. I don't think he didn't seem gassed to me, but it did feel like they were kind of protecting him a little bit, which I kind of thought they would, but I mean, I kind of thought there would have been a bit more. I will say this, I didn't anticipate Rock to just drop an F-bomb on live pay-per-view and have it not be blurted out. That was something there. 2.5, 5. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give that a -3 stars. I mean, where's the Japanese wrestlers? I mean, who are these guys? Let's see, and who was it? Yeah, it was Jay White from the Bullet Club. This should be an interesting match. Yeah, Disco, I think if Disco came... here's the funny thing. I think if Disco Inferno became active more in the 2000s or even 2010s even, I think he would have done a lot better. I just think he was too early, you know? And to be honest, here's the thing. Disco Inferno's moveset isn't really that unique. It's not really an electric moveset. I mean, outside of his, like, stunner, like, Last Dance or whatever move he does as his finisher, all the other moves are pretty typical, but I think it's a great character. I just think it was just a bit early for him, and to be honest, I think he needed to be in a promotion that would have promoted him a bit more and gave him more to work with, because him just doing random shit in WCW, I don't think it did him any favors. Especially since they didn't really book their... here's the thing, they booked their cruiserweights great, but they didn't always book their lower mid-card standard guys great.
Yeah! Give up?
If that makes any sense. And here's the other thing too, Disco Inferno didn't have any like solid rivals he went against. Like he didn't have any like great feuds or anything. Like if he was allowed to have like a big feud with somebody over something, I think it would have made him a lot better off. But I don't think he was bad at all. I just think he was just not in the most most plentiful situation of growth for wrestling. Here's the other thing too. I think he would have done better in WWE if they weren't afraid of his size. I think he would have done better in the WWF during the Attitude Era, because I think he would have been allowed to be a little bit more story heavy, which I think is something he needs, because like I say, he's not the most diverse wrestler. He doesn't have the most diverse moveset in the world. And I think he would have had guys to like rival and gel with well. And I don't think he really quite got that in WCW. But I don't know, like he could have been worse off there because of the size. Because in WCW, I don't think WCW cared as much about size of a wrestler as WWF did. So in that regard, he probably benefited better in WCW, but it's hard to say. Backslide from Rhodes. But yeah, I'm very excited for night 2 tonight. I'm definitely curious on what directions they're gonna take. And here, overall, despite the predictions I made earlier, as long as Rhodes wins the main event, they could do anything else that night, and I could live with it. But as far as I'm concerned, if they don't pull the trigger on Rhodes on this WrestleMania, they never will. Like, I just don't know, like, what else is there for Reigns to like achieve as a champion outside of like adding more days to his record reign, which no one gives a fuck about. You know, and that's the thing too. Who the fuck backstage thought it was a good idea to have Roman Reigns hold on to his title that long? Like, who had that idea? How did that happen? Was it something that was snuck into a contract? Oh, look at that. Wow, Jay. Making a mockery on Cody. Next is Rikishi and Cena here. See how this goes here. Some things never change, I guess. Oh, I hope he better not lose to me. I will say, I will legit be mad if he loses this. I might be more mad if he loses tonight than I would have with 39, because at least with 39, I would have understood why they did it, even though I would disagree with it. But 40, like, why? Like, why would you do that? Like, because if he loses this match, I think it would kill his character. I think you will destroy Cody Rhodes as a character if he does not win this match. Like, I'm being serious. Like, this is not this is the time to end it. Because, first of all, Jimmy and Solo need to do something outside of Bloodline stuff. They have not... Ooh, I almost forgot about the Jimmy Jay match. What'd you guys think of the Jimmy Uso Jay Uso match last night?
Fight!
You know what? It's funny. I like the match. The biggest issue with that match was both guys just did kicks, splashes, and then Jay did one spear, and that was it. Like, there was nothing else in that match. Oh no, I mean, they'll interfere, but I think Cody's still gonna win. And he's gonna win because having him booked to lose after all that's happened would not make a lick of sense. And also, are you really gonna have Cody Rhodes lose both nights? Oh, last night? Oh yeah. You know, it's funny that they didn't interfere, but in all honesty, I don't think they had them interfere. Well, one, I don't think they interfered because Jimmy had his match against Jay. And, you know what, I don't know why they didn't. I think they didn't have them interfere because I think they wanted to allow The Rock to really showcase his shit. And it would have been tough for him to showcase his shit if two other guys were helping him out.
Give up?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, but I will say this, if Jay and Jimmy are gonna fight again in the future, or, you know, have other matches solo long term, they probably should add more to their moveset other than super kicks and splashes. Because here's the thing, I'm not saying every wrestler needs to be a man of 1,000 holds, but I think Jay and Jimmy are too good to only have such a limited moveset. And so, if they're gonna fight again and do more stuff, I would like to see them do other things in their moves outside of what they did tonight. Now, however, I think they made the right call. I think Jay definitely deserved to win it. I don't think Jimmy is hurt by losing the match at all. Well, you know what's funny? Like, when I did moveset research for Jay and Jimmy for this game, they both do the Samoan drop. Like, they have diverse movesets. It's just for some reason, in the match last night, all they did was kicks and splashes. Like, I don't know why they didn't do any other move, but they didn't. But they may be one of those, those two guys may be wrestlers that work better against guys with diverse movesets than each other, because the problem with Jay and Jimmy have is, oh, you can't see him right there. I think the biggest problem with Jay and Jimmy is that they're too similar with each other. Like, there's not enough separating them, like, moveset wise. Like, there needs to be more separating those two, in my opinion. Oh, Sting face. Oh. Yeah, and if they're gonna have them both as solid solo guys, they really should give them, I'm not saying they need to add a lot, but I'm just saying that each one of them should have another move or two that's just their move. Like, Jay does the spear, but I don't feel like counting it because he just took it from Roman, and so many guys in WWE use the spear that it's not even, it's like, what's the point? Oh, attitude adjustment.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it kind of was. I will say this, though. The spear needs to go away. And I kind of agree. Like, here's the thing. Braun Breaker does a fucking fantastic spear. Probably the best spear in a long time. But he does so many other moves so well, and they have him do the spear as a finisher. I mean, what the fuck? We saw him do the recliner, the gorilla press power stuff. We see him do all this shit, and you're just like, oh, just have him do the spear. And it's just like, how lazy is that? You know? Because who else does the spear? Like, Bobby Lashley does, in WWE, Bobby Lashley does the spear, and then Reigns does. And Reigns is going to retire soon, at some point, probably. So, then you have Jay. So, yeah, you got a couple guys. But, still, I mean, I don't think Jay really needs to do the spear. I would much rather him do other things, but what do I know? I am a little worried about Jimmy's singles run, though, because Jay definitely has the momentum, but but I'm a little worried about Jimmy though, because I don't want to see Jimmy Uso just become a Jannetty. I think he's too good for that. I think he definitely needs to find other people to feud with that isn't Jay or Bloodline related. And I do think I think both guys need title runs, solo title runs at some point. I know, but that's the thing, like, they tried to do that with Christian, but Christian was too good for them to do it with, so they got rid of him. And I will say this, I know Jimmy has had some legal troubles deep in the past, so if he does mess up again, I don't think they would hesitate in letting him go. I do the spear. Alright, main event time. This will be 60 minutes because it is for a title. The brand new UPW faction title. We will see these teams. We saw these teams earlier. It will be the main event Mafia going against the Global Enforcers for it. They won their respective matches earlier in the show and have earned the right to challenge for the title here. Alright, let's see how it goes here. Wrong size. You know what? I'm not sure about this. Yeah, it's kind of a weird perspective too, because of the way it's lined up, but I'm not sure what his actual height in real life is. And also because everyone's doing different poses, it might affect it a little bit. Alright, let's see how this match goes here. Yeah, he's a big guy, but I don't know, like... Yeah, that makes sense. Well, here's the thing, too, about this game. You can adjust height as a statistic, but in terms of, like, height in the model, you only got, like, 3 or 5 different sizes to pick from, so you can't really get as articulated with that as you can with, like, the actual numbers.
An Anglo-Saxon warrior destined to be a champion for the ages.
Fight!
This could be interesting. New champions being crowned in this match here. Also, I'll talk about it again after the match concludes, but in terms of streaming schedule, you probably aren't going to see any streams till Thursday. Because I'm going to be gone Monday through Wednesday. Typically, Thursday will be the TWN Lord of the Grapple event. Now, it is going to be a tournament, so I am going to need reps from promotions. It will be an 8-man tournament, so it would really be all the 7 owners will get 1 rep each, and that extra rep will be given to I guess whatever promotion has the. Well, actually, correction. It'll be given to DPS because he's commissioner, so he has final say to stuff. So if he wants that extra slot, he can take it. Yeah, like the announcers were talking about like Carlito kind of gives Ray a quick little look when he picked Andrade. So maybe they're teasing Carlito turning heel. I will say this, I get Andrade, you want to get him in WrestleMania, but, man, why, but yeah, I don't know, Carlito was kind of one of those things where I kind of wish they, I'm happy they're doing the Latino World Order stuff. I'm happy to see them do. I will say this, overall, I'm happy to see them bring back stables and groups. I'm so happy they did that. I was getting very sick of like every man for themselves. Everyone's just kind of a tweener, selfish prick. It got old fast. Yeah. It's kind of like in WCW where they just had all the luchadors and cruiserweights just have one big 5-6 man tag match just because they had no other spots on the card. Yeah, it was a little bit, and oh yeah, it was. Like there was definitely great moments last night for sure. I will say this though, in hindsight, now I'm thinking about it, I will say this: I think The Rock. I do think the main event could have been a little bit shorter. I don't think it needed to be that long, but I think they really wanted to like really let the story play out throughout the match with The Rock and all that. I will say this, despite everything though, I think this version of The Rock is like so fun. Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with all of them getting their own entrance because it is WrestleMania, but since everyone outside of The Rock's gonna have another entrance tonight,
10 minutes gone.
I think they could have kind of squeezed it in a little bit more, condensed it. Yeah, definitely. They definitely could have made that a little shorter, in all honesty. I will say this, I was very surprised to see Jade get her hair cut. I did not see that coming. I mean, it's not bad or anything. I mean, if anything, it makes her even more striking as a competitor in a look. But I just wasn't prepared to just like all of a sudden she just has short hair out of nowhere. Oh yeah, she totally is a superstar. Like she's gonna like. And this is funny you bring that up because I was just thinking about it during the Rhea Ripley-Becky Lynch match, and I was kind of realizing, you know what? They don't really have a lot of young women stars ready to pick up the mantle yet. Like, a lot of the main women in the main event slots right now and overall through the card are veterans. Like, there's not a lot of fresh faces. So I think that women's division might be in trouble if a lot of those girls kind of leave all at once and retire. It might be a little chaotic. Yeah. 50 times. Yeah, I mean she's one. You got one. Like, but I think they need another like core class to bring up at once. And they had Raquel Rodriguez, but she's been off because she has this like really bizarre skin condition that's just fucking her over.
1, 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened at Stand and Deliver. I'll have to look. I will say this. After paying attention to wrestling and WWE specifically for over a year, I have to say this. I don't think NXT should be a developmental brand anymore. Like, I really don't. I think they need to be on the same level as Raw and SmackDown because just as much, if not more, people watch it compared to Raw and SmackDown. Like, they have, like, the stars they make are on the same level, if not greater than the main event rosters, quote-unquote. I just don't think it makes a lick of sense to have them as a developmental brand when they do so much, when they do so good compared to Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, exactly. Like, what I think they should do is, I think they should make those three equal. And I think when they do the draft, like, they should have 2 rounds. 1 round should be for veterans, and 1 round should be for newcomers, like recent signees or developmental guys. And have all those rosters just have a pool of developmental guys to just do things in. Yeah. Oh my god. AEW lately's just been, it just feels lackluster lately. You know, compared to WWE. It's so bizarre to me that out of, like, I don't think you would ever convince people years ago that out of AEW and WWE would be the one to step and deliver a better overall product compared to AEW.
1.
Just chaos right now. Yeah, a bajillion of them.
Great.
Just something, yeah. I hate saying that stuff because I still like AEW and I still think overall they're a solid product. It's just there's just so many things there that could have been so much better if Tony just freaking listen to reason and stop being so stubborn about having everything a certain way that only appeals to him. Like, in all honesty, he's becoming... Yeah. Oh, look at that! Wow. In other words, he's kind of like a reverse Vince McMahon. He's opposite of Vince in everything else except for, like, it slowly feel like it's becoming his way or the highway with things. Well, that's the thing, like, there's more wrestling in AEW than there is in WWE, but here's the thing, like, the stories make things compelling. Like, AEW may have more wrestling, but the story stuff is what makes things, like, memorable. Like, Like, because to be honest, like, if Reigns and Rhodes just had a random match on SmackDown or Raw without any sort of story at all, like, who would care? But the story made it compelling. Main Event Mafia, first ever UPW faction champions. I'm just gonna do their initials. Now let's see how well the show did here. Alright, so the show got a 79. Not like any bad matches on the show, just not a lot of high ones, except for the opener and the main event were good, very good matches. Alright, so in about an hour, night 2 is gonna begin for WrestleMania. I'm gonna be watching that. So far, for streaming schedule wise, next thing will be that big TWN pay-per-view. So reps will be. I'll need reps from every owner. They can pick from either one of their promotions if they have two. Although DP. And we'll see what DPS says. He may want the extra rep. He may give it to somebody for a price or something. I don't know. He's the commissioner. So we'll have to see. Here's the problem with Khan is that. And here's another thing that separates him from Vince. For all of Vince's faults, which there's a million of them, he knew what he wanted with his product. It was a consistent tone and vibe. Now, it wasn't for everyone, and quality varied a lot, especially down the line, but it was consistent. Tony's vibe is not consistent. Like, I don't know what it is. It just feels like it's whatever it feels like at the moment, combined with letting wrestlers do whatever they feel like doing, whether they want to do something that's like WWE or if they just want to reenact New Japan style stuff. And I'm sorry, but I think it doesn't matter it doesn't matter like what you have and everything with wrestling, your promotion and all that. I feel like when shit comes to shit, you need to have a vibe. Even if you mix and mash some, there needs to be an identity. And AEW, I feel like over time has lost its identity. Like, because when it started out, its main identity was like, hey, we're everything that WWE isn't. Except one day WWE decided, you know what, we're gonna be like what we should be. And it fucked them over. I swear, the day that AEW started declining was the day that Triple H took charge of WWE. Once WWE made decisions for the better, it hurt AEW. but yeah, that's what I'll be doing tonight is watching night 2. But I'll be on Discord, so we'll just have, but I don't think they'll go out of business, because unfortunately TNA has faltered when they got rid of Scott. They could have. There was a brief moment where I thought they could take the spot from AEW with their momentum, because the one thing TNA has that AEW doesn't have is an identity. You know, they have history, they have consistency, and AEW, I just feel like, is struggling right now with this identity. Like, what is AEW? Like when you think AEW, what do you think of? What brings to mind, like, what it's supposed to be? And I get the promotion's only, like, 5 years old. It's not old at all, but a lot has happened. And if they're going to increase the amount of shows they have, the amount of pay-per-views they're going to have, because they are going to do that. They are switching to monthly pay-per-views. It is going to happen. They were for a while back, but then they were doing good as Impact, and then they did some acquisitions. They switched back to TNA. Everything was going good. Disco Inferno. That's where it lies. But yeah, and that's my biggest issue right now with AEW, is that I don't know what they're supposed to be. Like, what is your goal as a promotion? What kind of thing are you going for? Like, are you just going to be doing everything that no one else is doing? Are you, like, what are you? Are you, like are you just, are you another WWE? Are you, like, New Japan in America? Are you indies on national TV? Like, what are you, like, main event Ring of Honor? Like, what is your shtick? Like, what are you supposed to be? Now, it doesn't have to be, like, a specific identity. It can be a mixture of things. Like, I don't think any promotion starts with, like, a clone identity. Like, I feel like a promotion's identity is developed over time with, you know, various things. But I feel like AEW right now is, like, what are you supposed, like, I just feel like they just don't know what, because the whole foundation of that promotion was, let's just be what WWE isn't. And I feel like that was a big thing. I just want WCW back. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, even that I would take. Like, even if they were just like, Tony's like, hey, we're just gonna be like 2020 WCW. Like, if WCW never went out of business, we're just gonna be like that. I would be fine with that, because at least it's something. But and here's the thing. You gotta keep this in mind. I don't really watch AEW. I don't even watch their pay-per-views. I just know from everywhere else, and what I see from other people, what I see discussed and talked about and all that, and clips and whatever. But based on all that I've seen, I just don't get how... I just don't get it. Like, I don't get how they got to a point where... like I said, I don't think they know who they are. I feel like the whole vibe there is, hey, let's do these matches because, you know, it'd be great. And here's the thing, I will say this, in terms of in-ring action, AEW is better than WWE. I will say that. It's just everything else that's a mess. Like, everything else is a mess. And I hate saying that, because I love AEW. I do. I think there's a great thing here for AEW, but it feels like, and I posted this on Discord, it feels like they do everything, specifically Tony Khan, specifically. I feel like he does everything halfway. Like like I said, like, hey, let's do some New Japan, but we're not going to be all New Japan. Hey, let's do some WWE story-like stuff, but let's not go all the way with it. You know, but let's only do a little bit because we got this other stuff going on. Hey, let's do a little, like, let's do some of this new indie stuff, but let's not go all the way with it. You know, it just feels like, I feel like in an attempt to appeal to everybody, they appealed to nobody. That's what it feels like to me. I feel like Tony's trying to, like, get everyone else that's not a fan of WWE, but they're also alienating everyone else because no one wants to watch one specific segment of a show that appeals to them. They're either going to watch the whole thing or none at all. That's what that's what it feels like to me. It feels like there's not, like, a consistent tone, like, hey guys, this is what we're going to be doing going forward, and this is going to be across the card. Now, if they want to do different things on their shows, like if they wanted WWE Light on Dynamite and New Japan on Collision, that'd be one thing. I would be fine with that, but they don't even do that. That's my biggest thing. It's like little things they could do to make things feel like they have a little bit more sense, a little bit more direction would go so much in a way, but they don't even do that. He just does everything for the moment, and he just does whatever he puts everything together the way he feels, and I wouldn't mind that if he was consistent with it, but he's not consistent with it. But and it doesn't help that he's probably not the best overall boss in the world. I mean, good lord, some of the stuff that slid under him was just, it melts my mind. Oh, jeez. Man, you got some real fantasy booking you gotta put together there, Eli. That'd be fun. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it good here, guys. Like I said, next stream is gonna be Thursday. I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna say Thursday. Thursday. It's gonna be the TWN Lord of the Grapple event. I'm gonna need reps from everyone at some point. And yeah, in terms of other things, TBF, I'm still kind of the same progress, just working on the Sheep Herders, and then after that I'm moving to SWE to work on them. They're the final one. In terms of, like, other book shows, GSW's up next for shows. I'll probably do them. I'll have to see when I do them. I'm not quite sure yet. Outside of all that, that'll probably make things. See, that makes it 5. So if I do mine after GSW, we'll probably be a little over halfway through the first week. So there's that. But yeah, after all that said and done, that's gonna do it for this specific stream here, guys. Thanks for watching. In case you guys want to chat with anyone at the camping company, you didn't want to use the YouTube comment section, we do have a couple options. First one is we have a Discord channel. Gonna play in a few weeks. Oh God, fuck. If Reigns retains, then I think I might literally have a brain melt. I think I might just snap and I hate saying that because I usually don't get that invested in stuff like that, but it's become so infuriating to me that they've kept the belt on him this long, because I don't know, it just feels like bullshit. That's what it kind of feels like. When something feels like bullshit, that's when it kind of pisses me off a little bit, because it's like, what are you doing with this? But I digress. But yeah, I sidetracked there. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.